Well, hello there, and welcome back to a special episode of A Stable Life. We are sitting in here with the donkeys. We got Buster and Rocky, and over there's Honey. There's Samson kitted out in all his gear. Oh man, got a fresh snowfall too. Boy, what a difference here between Samson and the donkeys. So, what's next? That's the big question that we need to get figured out. Looking at our hay barn right now, our trusses are covered, snow has fallen. What's next? How are we getting the trusses put up on the barn? What is going to be the process for taking care of that whole massive project? And what is our goals and plans with that barn for the future? That's the topic of today's video. So sit back, relax, and enjoy, because we have a special treat for you guys. Right, Rocky? Right, Rocky? I'm trying to bite my finger. He's legit biting me. Well, a lot of you have been asking to see what the hay barn looks like from the air. A big thank you again to Nick for allowing us to be able to get this footage. This is super, super awesome. And we are hopeful that we are going to be able to get some more footage like this, not only as we're working on the project, but of course once it's done. In this video, we're going to be talking at length all about what is the plans for this building. How are we going to be using it? You guys have been seeing so much videos about the build and about the project. To start, you guys are going to be very curious, of course, how is it that we plan on putting up those massive trusses that you see sitting there inside the building? Well, in this video, we're going to go in depth and talk about the strategy for getting them up. Of course, future plans with what's next after the trusses are put up. So if you guys are looking over at the left-hand side, you can see what we're planning on doing is we're going to have a full-on team for putting up these trusses. On the left-hand side of the building is going to be either Kevin or my dad. They're going to be in full-on fall protection gear, and that is going to be extremely important because they are actually quite high up in the air. I'll give you guys an idea for scope later on in the video. On the right-hand side of the building is going to be also Kevin or my dad. One's on the one side, one's on the other. They're going to be hooked on to the top plates so that if they were to slip or fall, they are perfectly safe and they don't have anything to worry about. If we get a little closer here, you can see we've got these silver plates. These silver plates are called hurricane ties. Those are what the trusses are going to be sitting in. You can see that they are spaced 24 inches apart. We're going to be starting on this side of the building on the far right hand side. That is going to be the first truss that is going to be getting put on, and then we'll just slowly start working our way going down the barn. Each truss will be marked so we know the exact width of the barn, so to make sure that the walls stay straight. After all, a straight wall is a strong wall, and that is going to be key for the longevity of this project. Now, that is our two guys that are on the sides. There is also going to be a two-man crew that is going to be picking up, moving the trusses, and of course, helping with logistics on the ground. We need a tool up. That's what is going to be these guys' responsibility. Right now, the two guys that are slated for this responsibility is Gavin and Jonah. You guys, of course, all know and love Gavin, but Jonah is also going to be part of this project, at least we hope. So that is the plan. He has said that he would gladly help us with this project. So that is going to be quite nice having them there. They're going to be grabbing these trusses and moving them on over to me. I will be over here on our selected piece of equipment. What we currently have is a number of different ideas, which is why I haven't just straight up said we're using this piece of equipment. But right now, what we have slated is a forklift. We're going to have the forklift sitting right in the middle of the barn. It will be in position. They will bring the truss over to the forklift. The forklift will then pick the truss straight up. We won't be moving or anything like that. The truss will be, of course, strapped in, so we won't have any fall damage or anything like that to worry about. The forklift is able to reach high enough. We have tested and measured, so that will get up to these guys here, allowing them to simply be able to take the truss and slot it into the hurricane ties on either side. Once it's slotted in, the straps will be undone, and the forklift will be able to go back down. We'll be able to grab our next truss and able to just continue the process, putting truss after truss in. Like I said, there is a few other ideas. We have thrown out the idea of renting a machine called a telehandler, which is a telescopic boom that should be able to easily reach the heights that we need. So the problem with renting a telehandler is that they are extremely expensive in our area. We're talking a minimum of $2,000 for a day. Now, of course, I know and understand that every project costs money, but it's very different when this is our livelihood and we are building this project with the scraps that we have. So we are going to use the equipment that we have on hand to the best of our ability, and that is the forklift. So I know for a lot of you, probably not the best choice, and I agree. If I was a builder and I built these for a living, it'd be easy just to include that in the cost of the project, and it is what it is. But this is our building, this is our project, and this is the biggest project that we have ever built. That barn that you see in the background, the horse stable, the farm market, and all of that, that was all built in pieces to what you see today, the mega structure that is there. This is the biggest barn that we have. It's the widest, the longest, and the tallest. So we're very proud of this structure. You guys have seen all along the ways we have made a mistake here or there, but we have rectified those mistakes, and I am super proud of the structure that you see before you today. So that's how we plan on getting the trusses up. A team of 5 individuals, but we actually have more than that slated for help. We do have a few other machines that we could use in the event that the forklift is not going to work, but I'll talk about those if we need them. We also have another individual that is going to be helping us the day we're putting the trusses up, and that is good old Peter. You guys all remember Peter. He is going to be at the point. So he has lots of fall protection. Some of you may or may not know that Peter is a first responder, and so he does have a lot of safety training. He has safety harnesses. So he is going to be the individual that is on this point. He is going to be making sure that the trusses are all nailed to each other, because there are going to be boards that connect each truss as we are putting them up. Kevin and my dad on the sides, Peter on the top. We also have some cameramen that are going to be here helping, so that way I can focus on making sure that the trusses are going up and down safely and I am able to watch everything around. So Eric, you guys remember Eric? He helped us with wrapping round bales. He is going to be here to assist as well. He's going to be our cameraman on this day, as well as possibly my wife. She wants to be here. She really does, but depending on the work schedule, she may have to be doing other things the day that we pick for this. As you can imagine, it is a lot of work to get everybody's schedules organized so that they can all be here at the same period of time and sacrifice an entire day to help us put this roof on. We are, in advance, extremely thankful and appreciative of everybody that is volunteering to help us with this project. It means the world to us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We do have more volunteers that have offered to help if we need them. The biggest thing, though, that is going to be the determining factor are 2 things. Firstly and foremost, taking a look around, you guys can see we got snow everywhere. The ground will need to be frozen or dry, one or the other, in order for the forklift to work. It is not a good off-roading machine. We are going to be getting it down here, but once it is inside the barn, if it is muddy, it is not going to be safe to be using that to be picking up things high. That means we'll have to be using a different machine altogether. We'll cross that bridge when and if we get there. And of course, we also do not want wind. With us picking up these giant, I mean, absolutely massive trusses, these things are going to be about 7 feet. If you take a look at them right now, from the bottom to the tip, that is about 7 feet. And if you go from side to side, you have over 30 feet. It's actually about 32 feet from tip to tip. So these things are gigantic. So we are going to be needing to make sure when we want them to be up in the air, we know exactly where they are and can control them. And a windy day is not a day to do that. So we can schedule a day to get everything set up and then find out that it's windy, that it's muddy. We don't know what the weather will provide, so it's going to be tricky to get everything organized for it. And one thing's for certain, once everything lines up, we're able to get all of the help, we're able to get the weather, it is going to be an absolutely excellent video. I am so looking forward to not only the video, but also the fact that we will have all of the trusses up. What happens after all the trusses are put up, you might be asking? Now, that's a good question. We are going to be lining all of the trusses with 2x4s. That is going to be the base for our sheet metal. That is going to be our metal roof. That may be going up pretty much either the same day or the same weekend. It is so critical to ensure that your trusses are supported once they are up there. They are at a very vulnerable state until they are supported. Once the trusses are up and the supports are on, the building will be extremely strong. And we are very, very excited for that. After that, the next thing to do is actually put on the roof. And I am ecstatic for that idea. We're going to be putting on the sheet metal. We have our sheet metal custom ordered, so it should be one sheet to be able to do one whole side of the roof. And we will ensure that we are able to get the entire roof with sheet metal on. Once the roof is on, then we will be doing the walls on each side. Once the walls are on, we will see where we are at in regards to weather. So weather is going to be a big play in things. If it is springtime and it is nice in summer, we will be working on putting in the gutter system. If it is not springtime, still winter, maybe it's early spring, late winter, whatever the case may be, we have our big giant roll-up garage door that is going to be getting put on right here in between these two giant posts. This thing is huge. It is bigger than the shop door that the Veggie Boys have, and we did that on purpose because this is a huge barn capable of holding over 300 round bales. We want to make sure that this barn is able to support all of our hay. No longer meaning that we need to wrap any of these round bales, which I don't know about you guys, but I'm so ecstatic that I won't have to wrap round bales anymore. The time savings alone, the financial cost of this wrap is exuberant. Not having to do all of that and being able to store all of our hay dry in this building is something that is the reason it is in front of you today. We are very excited for that. Very, very excited for that. So that big door will get put on that side. You may be wondering, what about this side? We see no header. Does that mean there's no door that is getting put on this side? You'd be correct, actually. This side is going to be left open. This is going to be the new area for the horses. The horses will be able to come in about 20 feet into the barn, right about here. And then starting on our left-hand side and going across to our right, we are going to be putting in a feeder wall. Similar to a wall like this. You're gonna see 4x6s attached to posts. It works really good at supporting the weight of, say, Tucker, say Samson, or a bunch of horses. And it will also be a very good feeder wall. We will be able to clean the feeder, keep the feeder safe from any problems that could occur, such as the horses breaking through it, trying to get in there and get hay. So we will be putting in a wall about 20 feet in on this side. The horses will have the ability to get out of the rain, out of the snow, out of the wind, and eat dry food on this side. The remainder of the building is entirely going to be devoted to hay storage. That gives us quite a lot of hay storage and quite a lot of hay. To put things into perspective, let's head on down inside our hay barn here. And we're going to be looking at our little wagon here. From the bottom to the top, you can actually stack over 4 round bales high in tube style fashion. Of course, if we were using something like large square bales, we could stack even more. This is a huge building that is capable of holding an incredible amount of hay. Of course, all the way down here is going to be the home of the tractor, as well as a lot of our equipment. So it'll no longer be stored outside. It'll no longer be stored in places where we have rain and wind and snow and all kinds of other weather heading in and causing problems with the building. So that is what is going to be happening with the barn. That is how it is going to be used. I'm excited. I know you guys are. So now the next question, how does this building size up to the rest of our buildings? Well, let's take a look. So if we can go ahead and put up our hay barn on one side of the screen, let's go ahead and see our hay barn compared to our middle field hay storage as well as run-in shed. Oh my goodness, we could see there really is no comparison. I mean, this building is doing a super job. We're very happy with this building, but no comparison here in any way, shape, or form. What about for the horse stable? This is going to be pretty interesting. Let's go take a look at our horse stable. Flying over all of our ponies. Everyone's looking good. Everyone's looking happy. Here we go. Here's our horse stable. So you can see the hay barn is a little bit narrower than our horse stable, but only by a few feet. And what you see right in front of you here is the cow barn and the horse barn conjoined. You can kind of see the seam where the cow barn stopped and the horse barn starts. So our hay barn is as wide and as long, but it is twice the height of this building here. So we're basically building the equivalent of an entire new horse stable. We see the area where the feed room is, And we also see the area where our other section of horse stalls are. Lots of important stuff. Let's do a nice little last flyover of our horses. Just incredible, the size of this building. I hope this video is able to kind of put things in perspective for you guys. Obviously, there are larger buildings that are being built all around the world, but for us, huge deal. So it's at this point that I wanted to update you guys, because sometimes when you're watching the videos with the way that all the clips are cut, it's kind of hard to get an idea for how things work when it comes to the logistics of the hay that we do for the horses. So come along, follow with us. What we're going to do is show you guys how things are currently working for hay and how things will work in the future. So to start, we're going to head outside of our horse pasture. There's our ponds. We're crossing over. Of course, we are going as the crow flies, and we're heading on over to where the hay is currently stored. This is all the Veggie Boys fields that you see across here. Here is our trail, ever so heavily used. And right over here, yeah, there it is, guys. Here is our round bale storage. So this is a pretty unique look. You're kind of getting an idea for how things look from the height. You can see that our stack here is 5 across. All of these, of course, are our wrapped hay. 294 round bales is our total for horses alone. That does not include any of the cow hay. You can see the cow hay here on the far side of this stack. Horse hay here, of course, on the middle. This is when we just acquired the bale grapple from our neighbor, and I was still getting the hang of it. So we did a 3 bale routine. And then from there, I figured out very quickly that we are taking up a lot of space. So we switched over to a 5 bale stack for horse hay. So this is currently how we've been doing it. We will stack it along a hay field, and then we will take it from the stockpile over to the horse pasture as needed. So when it's freezing cold, very, very cold, what we'll do is we'll grab the hay, and then we head on over back to the horses. We drive, we drive, we drive. And we come flying right over here to where the horses are. Once it's here, we cut them open, and then we take them out for all of the horses to enjoy into multiple pastures. Of course, we have our middle field, and we have our big field that we feed the horses with. So that's currently how things go. And then when it comes to actual horses, all of our hay fields, you've got the whole surrounding area. Let's head on up here where we can get a look at everything. So we could see going out very far away over there is where our hay farm is. And then we have all of our hay fields going all the way around everywhere that we collect all of our hay from. And what's nice, and I am oh so looking forward to, is the fact that now all we need to do is take the hay once it's dried and bring it right here to our hay barn. We won't have to worry about wrapping it. We won't have to worry about setting everything up for a place for all of the wrapped bales to sit that will be out of the way for an entire season. All of the ruts that is caused from, of course, putting all of this inside the hay feeders, none of that. We need to worry about none of that. It will be able to all just be put right into our hay barn and used as needed. I'm stoked. I know you guys are too. It's going to be an exciting time. So that's what's next. That's what's going on here at the stable. That's what's going to be going on with the hay barn. And that is everything. So let's just kind of wrap things up. Take a look at some of our horses. Let's see what they're up to. See here, who do we got in front of us? We've got Weather, Sriracha, Bella, Sarah. There's Archer. Oh yeah, and you can see the problem with these red feeders. The horses just rip the hay out all over the place. Looking forward to that not being a problem anymore in our big field. All right, that's just about all of it, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video. Before we conclude, I have another surprise for you guys. We're going to take advantage of the fact that Nick's going to be helping us out today with all of our footage. So we got another video in store for you guys. I know that you love this style of content. So remember to stay subscribed and stay tuned for the future videos. Oh, I super hope that you guys enjoyed. I know you guys tell me all the time that you would love to see more drone-related content. I no longer actually have a drone. My drone is no longer flyable, sadly. So I am relying on other individuals to give you guys any aerial footage that you would like. So again, a major thank you to Nick. He is super awesome and provided everything that you guys were able to see. So thank you very much, Nick. And I hope that I was able to answer just a few of your questions that you guys have been asking, as well as giving you some unique perspectives on the hay barn compared to the rest of the facility and what the hay barn will be used for. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to hit that like button and consider subscribing. You can see some more donkeys. You're going to be able to see that incredible video when that comes out with all of us putting the trusses up. I'm excited for that and so much more. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Right, Rocky? Right, Buster?